In about a year, some of those costs in America, food prices, et cetera, are going to go down. Can we expect cheaper tickets, cheaper food, cheaper souvenirs in the 2023 U.S. Open?
I'm not sure that you can expect cheaper tickets. I'm not sure that you can expect us to go backwards on the ticket price. As I mentioned, we started those without an increase over 2021 for the majority of the ticket prices in the sessions. But I think somewhat of the impact that we may get knocked for a little bit is the resale marketplace, which is not our set price. That's the resale marketplace that's set by sellers of tickets that is out of our hands and out of our control. But I'm not sure that you can see those go much cheaper either.
And food and souvenirs?
Food and souvenirs, those two. I think we'll do our best not to pass those costs that we may bear onto the consumer. But at the end of the day, there may be a slight increase, but hopefully it won't be anywhere close to the level of inflation or past inflation.
Well, we have to talk about the Serena effect here. I think that's the highlight of the U.S. Open, or one of them, I should say, for this year. It's actually one of the reasons some of those resale prices got so high. You saw that 60% increase. Talk to us a little bit about the Serena effect. This might be her last U.S. Open ever. How much of a monetary impact do you think that had on revenue this year?
Well, it's interesting. First of all, it was an incredible, extraordinary week celebrating Serena, the GOAT, the greatest of all time. It was an honor and a privilege for us to celebrate her. And indeed, our domestic ratings were up over 100% year over year within that first week. And her final match here broke records. It was the most watched tennis telecast ever for ESPN, our partner. So it was extraordinary. But with respect to the revenue impact, the majority of our tickets and hospitality inventory is sold well before the tournament. We did have some remaining inventory when she had penned that beautiful essay in Vogue. And on that day, we sold 3 times as many tickets as the day prior. So the effect is real. I think the majority of it is really felt on the resale marketplace, but the effect is certainly there. I think it's going to be really hard for us to quantify what that impact truly was from a revenue standpoint. But we were just thrilled to be able to have her and celebrate her here alongside all of our 24,000 closest friends and family here in the stadium.
Well, let's talk about the revenue growth here. It's something you've been tasked with specifically in a fairly new role, I might add, as Chief Commercial Officer. And a lot of the U.S. Open's revenue growth, especially in the last 10 years, which I might add has almost doubled, a lot of it has come from corporate hospitality, boxes specifically, but it's not something that everyone can afford. And I will admit, I've been to one of them. They're beautiful, but once again, not accessible to everyone. At the same time, you have attendance that's rising, but ultimately plateauing in the last decade. How do you broaden your appeal while also maintaining a more elite fan base and, more importantly, the revenue?
Well, I mentioned the Fan Week. Fan Week is the home of the qualifying tournament. It is free and open to all fans of all ages. And that runs for the entire first week prior to the main draw. It is free and open to all fans, where they can see every top marquee player, every player in the main draw practicing, open and accessible to all. In fact, we had over 100,000 people register for the Fan Access Pass that enabled people to get into Arthur Ashe Stadium and sit down in those first row courtside seats to watch people like Rafa Nadal and Serena Williams practicing there and even playing points. And they were enthralled by it. So it is an absolute aim of ours to expose as many people to the game, as many kids to the game. Our Fan Week does that. Our $35 price point, starting price point for individual tickets does that too. That will be an important part of this event for many years to come. And with respect to the U.S. Open suites, yes, those have sold very well. There is more demand than we can satisfy for U.S. Open suites and premium inventory. So we aim to satisfy everyone, from everyone that wants to come in for free and enjoy the grounds for the day and see pros practicing, and those that do want to indulge in a suite for an entire session or even the entire tournament.
Well, Kirsten, all due respect, there's a massive difference between players practicing and, say, the finals or even the quarterfinals that they might add. How can you perhaps increase the amount of people who get access to the more further along tournaments, the one that people are really chasing?
I think we'd have to make a bigger stadium, to be honest. With respect to the attendance, it is absolutely sold out. We are sold to the gills. And I think, look, we would be very interested to provide a lower price point for underprivileged people or kids or under-resourced kids to get into those certain sessions. But the truth is those tickets will get resold, will get bought by the secondary market, and will get resold at market demand price. So we do everything we can to be as accessible as we can. But at the same time, we do have market conditions that we have to contend with.